What is the absolute coolest way you can dial in your Fulltone OCD pedal or your Fulltone OCD clone pedal? So hi there, I'm Chris, and today we're going to do exactly that. We're going to tweak this pedal, and once done, we're going to try it in a real-life situation over a backing track. So it is my understanding when this pedal kind of entered the market, it did raise some eyebrows because of how natural it responds to the pick touch, and it's kind of amp-like in its character. On top of that, it's possible to dial in some super smooth and kind of silk-like distorted tones. And those are exactly the ones I prefer to go for with this pedal, although of course it has lots of different applications. So for this kind of thing, I like to, of course, start tweaking my amp sound. And what I got here is a kind of Fender-ish tone coming from my Mesa Boogie Mark V clean channel using the fat voicing. But any kind of Fender-ish clean tone should work well for this. Now, what I like to do is find a tone that is kind of well balanced and that I think would work in a, for whatever I want to do, if I want to record a lead or something. And this is a decently fat tone, but it still cuts through with some nice highs. However, what this sound does not have is sustain, and it does have some sustain, but it's not your kind of high gain sustain, and also it doesn't really help you with the faster runs the same way a more high gain tone does. So that's kind of where I want to go, but I want to go there without messing up the clean tone too much. So in other words, I want to find a compromise between the playing benefits of a distorted sound and the tonal aspects and benefits from a clean sound. Okay, so that's why you should start with a cool clean sound and then go for your Fulltone OCD. So the Fulltone OCD has both a high pass and a low pass switch. I think you can get this specific effect from both modes, but the low pass mode is going to give you more low end, obviously. So if you have problems kind of fitting your guitar into the mix or band mix or whatever, then you might want to go for the high pass mode, which is the one I'm going to use now. So it's set to kind of neutral here, or not neutral, 12 o'clock rather. And the trick for this kind of sound is to not push the amp too much with a volume knob, because if you do that, the pedal is going to act more as a boost, and chances are you will get just more brightness, right? So we push the amp really hard. We get that, which is not what I'm looking for now. Even if we, could turn down the tone. I like to do the opposite. I like to rely on the pedal's drive knob and have gain coming from the pedal, and that's really when we add overtones so we can color the sound in a nice way. We're not pushing the amp or we're not just amplifying the sound that's coming in. Instead, we're going to be pushing the amp with more overtones and drive coming from the pedal. So depending on how much I want to cut through, I can dial in more tone, or rather more treble. This is already in the ballpark. Also a good starting point is to have these knobs kind of be symmetrical. So if this one points in that direction, then the other one can point in that direction. I find that's a good starting point, and then you can fine tune, of course. So without it. So I would like to claim that this sound is not extremely far away from what I started off with. This is what I started with. Now, on many other overdrive pedals, if I had the drive knob set to this, this would give me a totally different sound than what I started off with. But here I think the sound is very close to what I started off with, but I have more warmth, I have more low end coming in, and I have much more sustain. or at least I have more compression that kind of helps me play some of these runs. So that leads me to the next step in this video, where I want to try this sound with a backing track and see how it kind of performs in a real life musical situation. So for that purpose, we have this D minor loop, and I'm gonna turn the loop on and then dial in, tweak it some more. So we're not really cutting through now, so I'm gonna have to turn up the tone knob a little bit more. I think there's a little bit too much distortion going on there. Let's see if we... Okay, so you can hear how I'm struggling to cut through with the low pass switch engage. So here I might have to go back a little bit, unless I want to turn the tone up all the way. So without it. With it. So I ended up with a completely different sound here, but I would still like to claim that the character of the sound as far as the overall tonality is not that far away from the clean sound, although obviously I have a lot more push to the sound. That's exactly how I like to use this pedal. Now, this is one of my first ever gear demos in a long time, so I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video till the end, and I'm more than happy to get your feedback from this, and hear if you think these videos are worth making, and if you want to see more of them. You've been absolutely fantastic watching this, and I've been Christopher Dahl. Have a good one. See ya.